Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste.
प्रणाम महाराज।
Namaste, Swamiji. Namaste to both of you. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yeah, dear devotees, before entering into the second chapter and second section, Dvitiya Adhyaya Dvitiya Valli, just I thought I will make you to do some exercise, Advaitic exercise. Just imagine there is a vast field. Since it is a vast field, one place of land, and there is a space which is undivided, undifferentiated space. And in between, one huge pot was brought by a potter and he kept it. Now we see there is a space inside the pot. So that is called pot space. And in Sanskrit it is called ghatakāsha. And the space outside the pot, which is in the field, say it is called space, or outside space or space, it is called mahākāsha, which is quite wide enough. So one is there is a space outside the pot and there is a space inside the pot, which we all understand. Now when I ask you, is the space inside the pot and outside the pot both are one and same or different? I think most of you will be able to say by this time now, it is one and same, the same, Swamiji. But the pot is differentiating, the space inside the pot is being separated by the pot. The wall of the pot or the covering of the pot is separating the space inside the pot from the outside. That is ghatakāsha, the space inside the pot, is been separated from mahākāsha, from the ghatam, that is the pot. Big pot, it is a huge pot. We all think that. So those space both are one and the same, but the space inside the pot is being separated, differentiated or separated by this pot. This is what generally we think actually. But if you see really, the pot is inside the space. There is no space inside the pot and outside the pot which are separated or no. The space cannot be differentiated. More than that, the pot itself is inside the space. It is very subtle point, we have to think bit. The pot itself is inside the space. And now, if you extend this thought process, the space you can consider it as a consciousness. And there are, in the space, if you keep 10 or 100 parts, then 100 part spaces are there. We think that. So these are called jivatmas. And the part inside the space, what you say, it is nothing but the jivatma buddhi. That is I. I am Shantivratananda. I am Karthik. I am Manjunath. I am Sunita. I am Pranam Chattopadhyaya. Whatever the so-called pseudo-individuality we are all feeling or experiencing, that is the space inside the pot. The space inside the pot and the pot both are in the space and space alone actually. And how many spaces are there? There is only one space which cannot be divided, which cannot be changed, which cannot be altered. So because there are 10 parts and you are thinking, or I am thinking that there are 10 part spaces, it is only a hallucination or illusion. So the part can never separate the space inside the pot and the space outside the pot. Similarly, there is only one Chaitanya, one consciousness. And we are all of that. So then why we have got different experiences? That is because of reflecting medium. Just like there are 100 parts, 100 part space you can say. So similarly, in every individuals can be considered as like a part like, that is with a sukshma sharira or karna sharira and with a stula sharira, and we are thinking we are all separate. Every part thinks I am separate from you. You are separate from me. Similarly, we are thinking that I am separate from you, you are separate from her, and she is separate from him, and etc. etc. But actually, it is not so. And the body, matter, energy, universe, everything is what? In the consciousness. Just like there are so many parts, trees, plants, and some dirt, and so many things are there which is in the field. So similarly, all this matter and energy, individual beings, animals, plants are nothing but they all exist. They all exist in the consciousness and consciousness alone. Just like if you see in the ocean, there are big waves, there are small waves, there are water bubbles, there are water foam, all these things. But all of them are nothing but water and water alone. So, because of the sense organs and the mind, we are thinking, I am separate from consciousness. I am separate from you. I am separate from this building. I am separate from that and that. Maybe to transactional reality, Vyavaharika Satya, it holds good. From the Paramarthika Satya, from the absolute truth point, there is only one thing, that is consciousness and consciousness alone. And we are all just the waves, like in the waves in the ocean, that's all. Wave is nothing but what? Water and water. If you remove the water, does wave can exist? No, it is name and form only. So the part is inside the space, there is no space inside the part. And that space is only one thing. And what is that space? Is trying to explain here is what? Here is, representing the Chaitanyam. So I am that Chaitanyam who is omniscient, who is omnipresent, who is all pervasive, you can say. So there is no place, there is no consciousness. So everything is inside the consciousness. The one thing, probably you have to think more and you have to feel it and you have to experience it. I am thinking, I am seeing, I am doing with the help of mind, with the help of sense organs, fine, that activity, no doubt, instruments, but everything is done in the consciousness and consciousness alone. So everything is sacred, everything is divine. There is no question of secular at all. There is no question of worldliness at all, actually speaking. Because of the dirt in our mind, because of the ignorance, we are seeing all these dualities. The duality is the function of the mind, and mind actually not in itself, not in the Chaitanyam in itself. So probably I thought after exercising yourself with so much of Kathopanishad, I think I'll be able to tell this, and if not all, most of you will be able to comprehend the truth. I am the consciousness and everything exists in the consciousness, or everything is appearing in the consciousness. Everything exists in the consciousness will be wrong to say. Everything is appearing in the consciousness. But consciousness and consciousness alone exists. And who is that consciousness? I am that consciousness. I am that awareness. Don't think that, oh, okay, consciousness alone exists. It is in the heaven or it is in the cave of the heart. Godo atmana prakashate. And all we studied. It is somewhere else. Just like in the old movies, the prana of the particular ghost will be in the inside the ocean, inside the cave, or inside the island. No, not like that. I am that consciousness. All right, now we shall go to the second chapter, second section. puramekādaśa ajasya anuṣṭhāya śocati vimuktaśca vimucyate etadvai tat. The city with 11 gates belongs to the birthless Atma, which is of the nature of undifferentiated consciousness. Meditating on this, one does not grieve. Having become liberated, he becomes liberated also. This is indeed that. Now, Till now, in the second chapter, first section, in detail, in very depth, Yama explained the Atma Swarupa. Again, Atma Swarupa, the nature of the self, means what? It is about me only. It is my real biodata. It is real my resume or CV actually. So when the moment when you heard Atman, Brahman, consciousness, Chaitanyam, don't think about something very divine, very special or very subtle object or no. It is about you. It is about me. Now, probably Yama thought, however I said, people feel difficult because Nachiketa has been made as Nimitta only here. So people might not understand. It is quite subtle. Though it is about our own selves, unfortunately, we are not able to understand. We can understand everyone. We cannot understand ourselves, our own problems, our own defects, our own strength and weakness. That's why we suffer in the life. That is at the mundane level, and at the spiritual level, we are unable to understand our real nature, true nature. It is so subtle. So that's the reason now Yama is explaining the Atma Swarupa in a different way actually. So starting with the Jivatma, the individual self or embodied self, taking the nature of the embodied self, he will be trying to establish the nature of the self. In the second chapter, second section. It is quite short one. I think it is only 15, and the next section will be 18. That ends the Katha Upanishad. Now we shall try to understand. If you remember, whoever studied Bhagavad Gita, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says there are 9 gates for the self, for the embodied self. And in Kannada, there is a beautiful song, Ambiga Naninna Nambide, Jagadambaramana Naninna Nambide. So there we say, Tumbida Harigolambida, Ambiga, Dakke Ombattu Chidragalambiga. There are 9 holes like that. It's an old song, I don't know how many of you have heard. 9 holes. So the same thing has been seen in Bhagavad Gita also, 9 gates. Quite interestingly, Katha Upanishad says that it is 11 gates, 11 openings, 11 exit points. In US or in Europe and all, we say how many exits we have to cross over. Exit 4, exit 5, exit 7 and all we speak. If someone wants to know the area, oh, you take exit number 11 and you take a right and you take particular turns, then you can come. We use all exit numbers actually in the motorways and the national highways. So here, so many exits are there. 11 exits are there for the embodied self. Which are these 11 exits? 7 exits here itself. 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nose, 2 mouth. No, only 1 mouth. Interestingly, thank God. If 2 mouths are there, what would have happened? Imagine. 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, and 1 mouth. 7. And below lower portion, anus and rectum, 2, and navel and brahmarandra, that is at the tip of the head. This all constitutes 11 exit points. Why? Because by any one of these, the sukshma sharira or prana, it can exit at the death. At the death, if he is very low level thinking person, if he is there, then generally his prana will exit from the lower part of the body. Then if he is bit purified, is bit stable, gentle and good natured person, then his prana will exit either from through eyes or through nose or through mouth or through ears. Only the Brahmajnani's prana will exit from the Brahmarandra. I have seen one of the grandpa, just he was passing away. I was there. I was very young that time. I mean, young in the sense, just like 10 or 11 years. I was very interested in death from my young age, childhood. If anyone hear that someone is going to pass, then I used to go and sit for a long time. So sometimes these old people used to scold me. You are a young chap, a small boy, you are coming and sitting. Will you not get fear? Why are you so much interested in this death? I said, I don't know, I'm interested. Let me watch what happens to the body or what happens to a person like that. So because of that inquisitiveness, probably I was sitting with one of the grandpa. There I saw his eyes, I could see very clearly, which were wide open, and this whatever the black patch was turning into white. There the granny was saying, look, his prana is going, exiting from the eyes. I saw very clearly. And with one more person I had seen very clearly, his prana went through the mouth. Prana in the sense, the way he was behaving, we could understand that his prana is going out from the mouth actually. So these are the 11 exit points through which prana can go. That's why he's saying, puram ekadasadvaram. Pura. So the whole body is compared here for the city. And that city, along with the fort is there, and it has got ekadasadvara. 11 gates are there. And ajā asya vakracetasaḥ. And there is a king here, the king or the master who is living in this palace or who is living in this fort. What is his name? The king name? His king name is what? Ajā. Oh, who is this Ajā? We have never heard. Who is this king or who is this master? Here, Ajā means what? Unborn. It is a pronoun they are used. Or you can take it as an adjective also. It is a pronoun. Ajā, who is unborn, means the self or the Atman. The Atman is the master who is residing in this city made up of fort and which has got 11 gates. And avakracetasaḥ. Avakracetasaḥ means undifferentiated consciousness. So there are, because thousands of people are there, thousands of beings are there, millions of people are there, million souls are there according to Sankhya. Multiplicity of souls they accept. Dualistic schools of Vedanta, they also accept multiplicity of souls. Advaita Vedanta does not accept multiplicity of souls. There is only one self or one soul. That is, we can say here, avakracetasaḥ. Avakracetasaḥ means undifferentiated consciousness. Means no separate. There is only one consciousness. There are not many consciousness. Anuṣṭhāya na śocati vimuktaśca vimucyate. One who understands this. Here anuṣṭhāya means one meditating on the true nature of the self. Here anuṣṭhāna. Anuṣṭhāna generally practice we think. Here practicing is what? I am the self and I have a body and mind. Science thinks body has a self. And the self or consciousness is the property of the body or especially the brain, the mind with the science try to speak. Of course, now things are changing. But the Vedanta says body does not have self, my dear. Self has a body. This is one important thing we have to understand. Body does not have self. Hold on. Self has a body. Anuṣṭhāya, by meditating, by contemplating on the true nature of the self. What is that? Aham ajaha. I am unborn. Aham avakracetasaḥ. I am undifferentiated. And I am residing in this body, that's all. Anuṣṭhāya, by practicing the meditation, means by contemplating, by thinking time and again, and by doing it, what happens? By repetition of these thoughts time and again, that ignorance will be removed. The wrong notion will be removed. Na śocati. He will not grieve such person. There's a beautiful story which we can see in Sri Ramakrishna's teachings. I mean, many of you might have heard, when the Vedanta goes deeply into your mind, what happens? A villager, he and his wife and one son. So they were from rural background, farmers, of course. They were doing a good life. The son, he finished his schoolings, then he went to university, and afterwards he got a good job, very lucrative job in the city. Then he had to shift for city. He shifted, but parents, they were farmers. They were in the countryside itself, village side, in the village. So after a month or two, the son comes back to village to meet their parents. Obviously, we can very well imagine mother and father both were very happy to see the son after a month or two. Now he is not just a son, not just anything. He is also earning member. So obviously, every parent will be happy that my son's life is settled and he's getting a good job. Then we have to marry him so that our responsibility will be finished. Just like any parent was thinking, they were also thinking. And then especially mother was very proud of that. His son is settled and father also. Then when he came evening, night, there was a feast. Many special items were cooked by the mother and all of them had a hearty laugh and had a food and all of them went to bed. Next day morning, the farmer, the fellow, he got up early morning. He said, I'm going to farm to do the farming. Let the son sleep for some more time. He might be tired. Then let him get up late and let him have his breakfast. And if he wishes, he can come towards farmland, saying that father left. Father is doing, then by 9 a.m. over, the son is not getting up. Mother thought probably, my son is tired, let him sleep. 10 a.m. over, 11 a.m. over. Then mother calls, no response. Then mother goes and she tries to shook his body, and his whole body got cold. That means the son has died. So obviously you can very well imagine she started crying and etc. Then neighbors heard, neighbors rushed, and he saw, unfortunately, they have lost the young son. It was quite so much pain, agony for the mother. She was crying. Then slowly the news spread in village. Villagers started coming and they were all feeling bad and pity about these people. And some of them went and only they called the farmer, said, sir, your wife is calling. Please come immediately. He said, no, I'm doing my work. Let me go afternoon, etc. He was trying to tell, but they pulled him. And when he goes, so many people have assembled in front of his house. He was astonished what happened. Then he goes and he sees his son. Yesterday, they had a hearty laugh and so much food. They had ate and etc. They shared their feelings, emotions, happiness and all. Now, the same son has become a dead body. Obviously, when a person dies, one by one, when the relative friend comes, immediately we express our love, express our sorrow, express our communications. So then he came, then the whole attention shifted towards him. But he never cried, he never burst into tears, or never went and, what did you do, my son? Why did you live like that? He never made anything, just he was standing. People thought probably he's under psychological shock, so he's unable to express his feelings. Then people said, all right, my dear, please bear this loss. It is very difficult, I understand, but what to do? Everyone has to die. All these things they started telling. But he was keeping quiet, calm, and just he was observing. He was observing. After some time, wife got terribly annoyed. We have only one son, and that young chap was just, he got his job and he was about to settle and he has passed away. You fellow, you don't have any feeling at all. You are a stone-hearted man. You didn't cry. Forget about crying. Even you didn't express some unhappiness, agony. What type of father are you? You are a stone-hearted man. Like that, she started abusing her husband. After some time, the fellow, he said, look, yesterday night I had a dream. In the dream, I was a king and you were a queen. And we had 7 children. And it was so beautiful life. But when I got up morning, I came to know that I'm not the king, you are not the queen, and we never had 7 children. Now you tell me, I lost my 7 children in the dream. Now I have lost one son in the waking state. Now you let me know for whom should I grieve, for whom should I cry. This is the story told by Sri Ramakrishna. This is a great Advaitic truth. Means everything is what Swapnavat. In Mandukya Upanishad, we see this. So everything was dream-like. So it was a dream-like. So he had that Vedantic background probably. He was feeling unhappy, no doubt he lost his son. But he was not crying just like any other. Why? Because he knew that all this is what drama. I am the self and every one of us we are selves, and there is no death and there is no birth. Aja, ajaha, I am unborn. My son is also unborn. My daughter is also unborn. Wife and myself, my relatives, everyone is unborn in reality. So the moment when you understand the Vedanta, when you start putting into practice, na śocati, you will not grieve about anyone death. That doesn't mean that you will become stone-hearted ones. We should have compassion, we should have a love. Suddenly someone says that I have got a headache, I have got a hurt, there's a blood, a lot of blood is going, can you help me to go to hospital? Then you can't say that, oh my dear, aham ajaha, tvam ajaha, you are also aja, don't worry, let the blood go, whatever it might happen, don't bother. No, you can't be like that. Definitely we have to take them to hospital and we have to get taken care. But in reality, we should know in the heart of heart that we are unborn really, because our real nature is what? That consciousness, the self or the Atman. Then vimuktaśca vimucyate. So vimuktaśca vimucyate, it it represents two types of mukti. Vimuktaha, the person while living in the body, while living in this mundane life, he is free person. That is what Jivan Mukta Avastha. The moment when I understand Aham Ajaha, I am that self who is unborn, and the moment I understand and experience it, means remove the wrong notion, remove the wrong understanding. Aham Vimuktaha means I will be free person. See, Advaita Vedanta philosophy is the only philosophy which gives this positive hope for us. All other philosophies, all other religions will say that after the death, you should go to heaven to get the mukti or whatever. Including theistic schools of Vedanta, Vishtadvaita, Dvaita philosophy, and all other philosophies, Semitic religions also, they say that to have the freedom, you have to go to above worlds, and for that you have to die. Death is the first one of the important conditions there. Otherwise, no, whatever you might have done good things, but still mukti is not possible. But Advaita Vedanta says, while living in this mundane world, while residing in this physical body, still you can be free. Jivan Muktaha, that is free while living. When Aham Ajaha, Aham Avakracetasaḥ. The moment when you understand and experience I am that self, I am the undifferentiated consciousness, you will, what happens? Śocati, first and foremost. You will not grieve. Then vimuktaha bhavati. You will attain the freedom while living. Vimucyate. If not, at the time of death. Videha mukti. Your sthula sharira, physical body is left out here. If you burn it, it will become part full of ash. If you bury it, it will become part full of soil. That's all. Then Sukshma Sharira will merge into Karana Sharira, causal body. And causal body gets disintegrated in the Atman or in the consciousness. So when there is no reflecting medium, then there is no birth. When there is no Sukshma Sharira, no more birth and no more death, no more struggles. Vimucyate represents here Videha Mukti. So why should I study Vedanta? Swami, why should I attend the Vedanta class? Because to understand these great truths. The moment we understand, when we can put into practice, then it is easy. And śocati also, the more and more we understand Vedanta, the more and more we put into practice, even in our day-to-day life. Some problems comes, some challenges will come, some praise and blame comes. All these things, we keep on reacting and we will be oscillating between the ups and downs, emotional oscillations. Happiness, unhappiness, joy, sorrow, good, bad, good mood, bad mood. For small things, we'll be keep on reacting and our mind loses its temper. But the more and more you study Vedanta, and if you can assimilate that ideas, this emotional oscillation, ups and downs, will be lessened actually. So even mukti, even if you if you feel that it is very long or still it is very far ahead and all, even in day-to-day life, we can try to live a very composed life. We can try to lead a life of peace and with less oscillations. It is not again insensitivity, rather it is not a reactive life, it is a response life. So this is possible in the by practicing Advaita Vedanta or spirituality. The second shloka, it is a very often quoted in puja times. We use it because it is from Rigveda also. Agam saha śuciṣadvasurāntarikṣasad hotā vediṣadatithirduroṇasat nṛṣadvarasadṛtasadvyomasad vyomasad abjā gojā ṛtajā adrijā ṛtaṃ bṛhat. It is very nice to listen. The moment you start chanting, it will go very tongue twister like, and it will be very quite difficult. All right. So now, quite interestingly, the Jivatma was explained in the first shloka. That is, the self is residing. The self is residing in this pura, that is in this body, which has got 11 gates. And what is the nature of the master? The nature of the self? Ajā and avakracetasa. The moment you understand and you explain, you will get three things. One is śocati, vimuktaha, and vimucyate. Okay. And you might think, all right, the self exists only in the beings. That is in the microcosm. You might think that. So to remove that doubt, because self is all pervasive, omnipresent, So self is also in the macrocosm or in the other worlds also. To make this understanding, the second shloka is there. This infinite reality dwells in the heaven as the sun, dwells in the interspace as the wind, dwells on the earth as the fire, dwells in the house as a guest, dwells in people, dwells in gods and goddesses, dwells in sacrifices, dwells in space. It is born in waters, it is born on the earth, it is born as sacrificial accessories, and it originates from mountains as rivers. So in the Rig Veda also, we see this mantra. All right. Now, first and foremost, so here he is telling, the Rishi or the Yama is trying to tell here is what? Even don't think that it is only living in the individual beings, it also there in the terrestrial, in the cosmic existence. How? We all see sun. Hamsaha. Hamsaha. Hamsa means swan actually, the literal translation. Hamsaha means ahamsaha. When because of the sandhi rules, it becomes hamsaha. If you split, if you break it, it becomes ahamsaha. Ahamsaha means what? I am that. I am that means what? Which is that? I am that self. So here amsaha, it is taken, the meaning is actually the sun. So the sun exists in the sky or in the above world or in the heaven basically. Amsaha. Then vasuhu. Amsaha śuciṣadvasurāntarikṣasad. Vasu means not Ashtavasus. Here Vasu means we should take as Vayu or the wind. So the wind is residing, the wind stays in the intermediary space. Intermediary space means what? There is a earth and there is a heaven. In between there is a space. That is called intermediary, says Antariksha. And in the Antariksha, you see the wind, prana energy. All right. Hotā. Hotā is the person, the yajamana, or the main priest who gives the offerings in the sacrificial sacrifices or in the yagnas. That is the hotā. In the mundane earth, so even you can see the self is being manifested as hotā. That is the person who is giving the offerings to the yagnas or in the homa karmas. Vedisat. Vedisat means Vedic sacrifices. Then atitihi, even in the home, you need not to think of heaven, you need not to think of intermediate space or anything. Just house. We all, every one of us, we have got our own house. Either own house or the rented house. We live in the house basically. Even if you see in the house, we see the atiti in the form of atiti. Atiti deva bhava. That is the beauty of our culture. So even in the house, he comes in the form of atiti. Etadvai. All right. Then he also exhibit in a different forms. How? Abjā. Abjā means like aquatic animals, which is born in water. Abjā means ja. Ja is born, ab means water. So any aquatic animals basically. Then gojā. Gojā means which is born on the land, like crops, cattle, animals, reptiles, mammals, and all. Then adrijā. Adrijā means which is born in the mountains, like a rivers or anything, minerals and all. So everything is what? It is nothing but the expression of the same divinity or the self. Then ṛtaṃ bṛhat. There is a cosmic law. Because of this, the entire universe is happening. Now if a company has to run, how a company runs? Company will have its own rules and regulations. For everything, CEO will not come. He will start the company, no doubt. He might have started a company, then slowly he creates a system through which the whole system, the office will be going on. If there's any problem, then we have to go to CEO. So similarly, God has created a system on which the entire world is running. The whole creation is running. That is what ṛtaṃ. And also bṛhat. Bṛhat means what? Brahman. That is which is vast, boundless and infinite. And the cosmic law is nothing but again the Brahman. And the bṛhat, which is what? Nothing but the Brahman. So whether it is in your heart or whether in the house or whether in the different worlds, everywhere there is consciousness and consciousness alone. Chaitanya exists in different way. So these can be taken as mantras. The first mantra and second mantra, both shlokas, can be taken for the meditation. Where is this Atman? Where is this consciousness? The question might come for all of us. So these are the two shlokas which will help to recognize the Atman, to recognize the Brahman. For example, you are inhaling. Just inhale and exhale. Fine. You are inhaling and exhaling. That who is aware of that process, inhalation and exhalation, that is what the self. That is what the consciousness. So where to find this Brahman? Where can I see the God? We'll get a question. So similarly, where can I see the Brahman or Atman? If you get the question, these two shlokas will give an answer. Either you can see in your own self, or you can see with the open eyes, you can see that consciousness or the Atman or Brahman in every particle, in everything. All right. ūrdhvaṃ prāṇamunnayatyapānaṃ apanam pratyagasyati madhye vāmanamāsīnaṃ visve devā upāsate. So in the third shloka, Atma draws prana upwards and sends the apana downwards. All sense organs worship this adorable one who resides in the heart of the body. Now, heart means it is a spiritual heart, anahata chakra. So, according to the Vedanta, that is the resident of the mind actually. Why everywhere they say angushtamatra purusho and who lives in this heart when they say? Why? Because that is the reflecting medium. So, the self is reflected in the reflecting medium. That is the only nearest point where we can experience the consciousness, where we can experience the awareness. The same thing can be understood here also. All right. Now, prana, what happens? Now you do inhalation. The inhalation is called apana and exhalation of our breath is called prana. So, ūrdhvaṃ prāṇam unnayati. When we do exhalation, what happens? The breath comes from the below, from the nabhi or from the lungs to the nasal actually. That means it is coming upward and it is getting exhalation. That is what ūrdhvaṃ prāṇam unnayati. Then apanam pratyagasyati. Now apana means inhalation. You inhale the air, but inside it goes down actually. It goes downwards, which also helps for digestion. That has been explained in the first line. Then madhye vāmanamāsīnaṃ. And in madhye, in between, in the middle, vāmana, one who is very adorable, one who is dwarf, because angushtamatra purusha, Upanishad has told. So that is the reason. So one who is a dwarf in dwarf by nature, one who is worthy to worshipped or adorable, āsīnaṃ. He is sitting in between, means he is sitting in that spiritual heart. Visve devā upāsate. Visve devā means sense organs. Pancha gnānendriyas, pancha karmendriyas, or pancha pranas also you can take. Basically, it is indriyas. Visve devā is what indriyas. Upāsate, they are all worshipping. They are all worshipping how? By serving. By serving the person who is the vāmana sitting here. How the sense organs are serving the embodied soul? By providing the information. The eyes is giving the information, ears are giving the information, nose is giving the information. So by that it is serving. Here upāsate, worship. The gods are worshipping the self means what? By providing the service. How? By providing the information or by doing the work. So even you can see the self or you can experience the self in your own self. That is some in between the heart, there's a reflecting medium, there's a reflected consciousness. So hold on to that reflected consciousness. Through that, you can understand, you can experience the consciousness or awareness. So where is the self? It is inside your body. Where is the self? It is everywhere. So there is no place, there is no self. Understand it and experience it. Asya visraṃsamānasya śarīrasthasya dehinah dehat vimucyamanasya kimatra parishishyate etadvai tat. When this Atma, which resides in the body, gets detached as it is freed from the body, what remains in this body? This is indeed that. This is indeed that. Now, see, dehinaha, in the first line, they use the word dehinaha And in the second line, first word is what? Deha. Deha and Dehi, we have to understand, like Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Deha is but body, and Dehi is one who is residing in the body. Dehi. And Deha is what? Body. So, asya visraṃsamānasya śarīrasthasya dehinah. So, in the sharira, inside the body, who is residing? Oh, his name is called Dehi because he is residing in the body. All right. Dehat vimucyamanasya. Once, if the Dehi gets departed from this physical body, kimatra parishishyate, what remains in this body, it is indeed that. That means what? Kimatra parishishyate means what? Even, so here Yama is trying to tell the person, I mean, most of you will be keep on asking, Swamiji, what happens to the self when a person dies? When a person dies, what happens to self? Okay. Any other question? When a person dies, where does self goes? This question, all these questions, generally we get it, no doubt. This is all because of wrong understanding of our own nature. Then we say that, my dear, self, nothing happens to self when a person dies. Okay, nothing happens means the self exists. Yes, after the death of a person, self exists. All right, where does it go? Because it has to take, we belong in reincarnation, rebirth. So how does the self travel to another body? Again, next question will come. I say, no, the self will never travel. Huh? Self when doesn't travel, then how can I take a new birth? If self is all pervasive, then how can the self can travel? Self is not limited by time and space. Time, space is not limited, then, and it's also all pervasive. If it is all pervasive, then where can self travel? It is not possible. Then what happens to the self when a person dies? I say nothing happens to self when a person dies. Okay. Then where it is when I die, where my self will be there? Self was there, wherever the self was there itself. Okay. That means you say that in the dead body also the self is there? Yes. Then why it is called dead body? Only the reflecting medium, sukshma sharira, has departed the physical body. Just like we have got a bulb and electricity was there and we were getting light. Then the fuse got burnt. Because of the fuse has got, burnt, I'm not getting light. Does that mean is electricity is not there? Electricity is there, but the reflecting medium called fuse has been gone. That's the reason I'm not getting light. So even in the dead body also consciousness exists. That has been told here. That has been told in this shloka. Dehat vimucyamanasya kimatra parishishyate etadvai tat. So when dehat vimucyamanasya, even in a dead person, whatever is been left out, that is called the self. Means the self is in the the consciousness is in the dead body also. Just like in the living body, it is in the dead body also. Only there is no reflecting medium. That is the reason it is called dead. See, there is a beauty in the Indian culture is common people, whether they understood the Vedanta and all, but generally they say, Pran chala gaya. They never said, Atma chala gaya. They never say. Even of the so-called villagers, we say ignorant, illiterate people, they don't know and all. But they say, Pran chala gaya, Atma chala gaya. They never say. Pran chala gaya means what? It's self, subtle body. Sukshma sharira is left, they say, but not the self. So by this, what you are saying that for the existence of the self, body, we don't need it. To experience, you may need it, but self survives even after the death. That has been understood very clearly from the third shloka. So self does not depend on body, body depends on the self for its existence. So I am lending the existence to the sukshma sharira or karna sharira or even the sthula sharira. I am giving means what? Not the body mind, not Shantivratananda. I means here the self or the Atman or the Brahman. So I am independent from everything actually. But we think we are all dependent. Our body and mind is dependent, no doubt, no doubt. But I, the self, is ever independent. And that's where we all want to be independent. We love freedom. My mother should not ask anything. My father should not ask anything. My teacher should not ask anything. Police should not ask anything, even if I break the law. We all think. Because why? That is the sign of freedom, we think. Why we are all seeking for freedom? Because that is my inherent nature, true nature, real nature, but we are searching in the wrong way or in the wrong place. So even after the death, the self does not travel. Why? Because it is there always. Just for an example, you are in the ocean. You take in a bucket the water and you pour it. You say that then, but still I could pour the water from one place to another. We say yes. When you lift the water from the the ocean and the surface of the ocean, where there is no water, that's why it is there. Say for an example, inside the water you go and you lift. You fill the water in the bucket and you say that from the point A, I have poured the water in the point B. When you say, people say, my dear, it does not make any sense. When you were inside the water, inside the ocean, and you filled the water in the bucket and you poured from your left hand side to the right hand side, you will say that, or people will say, that doesn't make any difference. There is no change. Why? There is water and water and water and water and alone, water alone. So like that, consciousness alone is there. So when a person dies, what happens? The sukshma sharira departs the stula sharira, the reflecting medium. And the stula sharira, again it enters the mother's womb and again the new life starts. So this old shirt has been left by the sukshma sharira, that is the embodied self, and it takes the new dress. That is what? New birth. So we are all so much obsessed with the birth and death. We are all so much have got fear about death and all. It is nothing but I give away the old garment, and I take away the new garment. When I take a new dress, we are all so happy. Then when we are giving away old garment, that is a body, we are all very unhappy, unfortunately. So the moment we understand all these things and put into practice, then we will not bother from any of these things. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishnaarpanamastu. Yes, any questions?
I put a question in the chat box.
Yeah. Where does subtle body travel after departing from the particular body? Where does it travel? So there are two arguments. One is our prarabdha got exhausted, then I leave this physical body and again I go to the new subtle body. Okay, new body, I enters the mother womb based on my karma phala. I enters the mother's womb, then again my journey starts. That is the one argument. That's the one thing. And from here to point A to point B, that's point A is what I left this physical body. Point B is reaching to the mother's womb, new mother's womb. Before that, probably based on our karma phala and based on our nature of the mind and all, we might take the solar path or lunar path. That is different, which is in the 8th chapter Bhagavad Gita. All these things have been discussed. So once I leave, based on my punya and based on my nature of the life I have led and other things, I may go to, or in the better way to put, heaven or hell. I go there and I experience my, the results of my action. Then when I get a suitable body, suitable embryo to take a birth, then again I enter through the food or whatever.
But where is the venue for that? Where is the venue for that? Where it is happening?
What happening?
Like I'm experiencing good or bad, depending on my karma in this life or previous life, whatever. In between point A to point B, I'm traveling. So in between, I'm experiencing this. Where is this venue between A to B? Venue is where?
Oh, that is in the above worlds. Swargar, Narakar, Pitrulokar, Gandharvaloka, Swargaloka, we say. That is the above levels actually, above worlds. We have got 7 worlds above, 7 worlds below. So in some apartment, like 14 apartments are there. So in some apartment you are living. So like that in some apartment or some loka, you will be experiencing all of them. how you are experiencing? You are through Sukshma Sharira, that is subtle body. So the
Maharaj,
subtle body is the vehicle through which all your impressions, papa, punya, everything has been deposited.
right,
It is your own
right.
bank, like your Sukshma Sharira mind, everything has been deposited there. So you are carrying all the way. Say you have done 100 janmas papa punya, whichever has been stored is there in your mind actually. Which
Maharaj,
is
we have
part of the
covered,
Sukshma Sharira.
yeah, we have covered up to sloka number 3, right? Or no?
Number 3, number 4 also I finished now.
Acha,
I wanted to do 6 slokas, but anyhow, I
okay,
only could do 4
acha, we have
slokas.
finished 4 also. Okay.
Or
Maharaj, I
yes.
have a doubt.
Ah,
Previous day we had done till sloka number
Yeah.
12. So 13, 14, 15 you have skipped.
did I?
Yes,
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah.
Are you sure?
yes,
Yes,
definitely.
Maharaj.
Somehow I felt that I have finished that and I am ready for second chapter.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes,
Okay, let me
yes,
take next
Maharaj.
class.
Yes,
Up
yes,
to
Maharaj.
12
That
you
is
have
my
done
impression also. 13,
in
14,
the
15
last class.
is not covered, yeah.
All right, thank you.
It's
Yeah,
only
I have got a
14
good
and
students. That
15.
means seriously
14
everyone
and
is
15
following.
are missed.
So let me take 13, 14, 15 next class. Yeah. I am happy that so many serious and sincere students are there. They are noting everything or they are making a note.
You have made us
Noticed
serious,
it.
Maharaj. By your deliberations, you have made us serious. Really, it's so. That is the quality we are facing, actually.
All right.
Poonam Maharaj,
Namaste.
every time you tell the reflecting media, that words, it is our
Mm.
subtle body?
Yes.
What is that
Reflecting
reflecting
medium, when I say it is a subtle body. Yes.
subtle body? It's okay.
And reflected consciousness, when I say that is the notion of the aham, I. What when you say consciousness or the Atman or Brahman, that is the original consciousness. All right. Yes, Samit, you had something?